Tonight on Y News, Foreign Affairs Secretary Teodoro Locsin Jr. orders the filing of a diplomatic protest after Chinese warships were spotted in Cebu Strait. Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana shoots back at Chinese Ambassador Zhao Jinhua for saying that overseas Filipino workers in China may be accused of spying. Oil prices set to go up beginning tomorrow. And former Environment and Natural Resources Secretary Gina Lopez passed away at the age of 65. Foreign Affairs Secretary Teodoro Locsin Jr. orders the filing of a diplomatic protest over Chinese warships spotted in Philippine waters. In his Twitter post, Secretary Locsin said, "It is clear the Chinese warships passing through the Cebu Strait is trespassing. Based on a report from the Armed Forces of the Philippines, Western Mindanao Command, 2 Chinese warships were seen in the Cebu Strait last July and 3 others this August." The official also said the move is but just. Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana slams the statement of Chinese Ambassador Zhao Jinhua, who said Filipino workers in China could also be accused of spying. April Senadosa explains why.
Preposterous is the word Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana used to describe Chinese Ambassador Zhao Jinhua's recent statement. This after a message sent by the Chinese official to presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo, saying, "What if we think that they are also spying on us?" Lorenzana says Philippine offshore gaming operations or POGO workers visit the Philippines for a different purpose. They acquire visas to work at POGO centers operating gambling operations, which are prohibited in China. The DND official argued there are no POGO-like centers in China that can be operated by Filipinos near Chinese military camps. Lorenzana maintains POGO workers are here in the Philippines just for work only, but expressed alarm that they could also be tapped for information gathering purposes. He also expressed support to the relocation of POGO centers in eco zones that are not near military camps. April Senadosa, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Former Environment Secretary Gina Lopez dies at the age of 65. Her friends and former colleagues in the government mourn over her death. Joanna tells us why.
Any kind of extractive industry which will damage our water resource, there's no negotiation there. What do you want me to do? I don't negotiate. If it's wrong, it's wrong. This is wrong. You're putting the lives of the people there at risk, and it is against the Philippine Constitution. It's wrong, okay?
Filipino philanthropist and environmentalist Gina Lopez passed away early today after battling with brain cancer. She was 65. Lopez ordered the closure of 23 mining pits and the cancellation of 75 mining contracts because of destruction of watersheds and other natural resources. But her 10-month service under the agency ended when the Commission on Appointments denied her nomination as the DENR Secretary. Her friends and former co-workers in the government have expressed their sympathies to the former public servants bereaved. For DENR Secretary Roy Simatu, Lopez served as an inspiration in protecting the environment and the country's natural resources. Malacanang further part recognized the contributions of Lopez as a former member of President Duterte's cabinet.
On top of that, she was a fierce protector of the environment. And she didn't stop. Even if she didn't get the confirmation of being the Secretary of DENR, she pursued her advocacy to the limits until the life beyond has called her to join it.
Despite her death, Gina Lopez's dedication and determination to pursue her advocacy to protect the environment remain in the Filipinos' hearts.
I believe I can touch the sky. Woo! I think about it every night and you sing Spread my wings and fly away.
Joanano, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
I see me.
The temporary lifting of the number coding scheme in Quezon City today did not have much effect on the traffic situation on EDSA. Vincent Arboleda will tell us why.
The Quezon City government lifted the number coding scheme in the city just for today. This as the city celebrates the Quezon City Day every August 19 as declared by Republic Act 6741. August 19 is the birthday of former Philippine President Manuel L. Quezon, from whom the city's name is derived. This means that motorists can freely roam the streets of Quezon City today, but not the EDSA area.
Hindi naman ito makaka-apekto o makakadagdag sa build-up ng traffic sa EDSA.
Hindi naman kasi bawal naman ng 1 and 2 pa rin. You can cross EDSA but you cannot traverse EDSA.
Ang suspension naman ng number coding sa inner roads lang yun. There's still number coding sa EDSA at C5. So, let them enjoy this Quezon City Day.
The MMDA reminds motorists to follow the coding scheme and other policies to avoid being bothered while driving.
Ang tanong, may sumusunod ba sa number coding? Marami pa rin kami nahuhuli na number coding.
MMDA data show they record 100 violators every day through the no contact apprehension policy. Vincent Arboleda, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
After the recent rollbacks, local prices of petroleum products are set to go up this week. Shell and Sea Oil will be raising prices by 60 centavos per liter for diesel, 35 centavos per liter for gasoline, and 45 centavos per liter for kerosene. Meanwhile, Petrogas and Caltex will increase diesel prices by 75 centavos per liter and gasoline prices by 50 centavos per liter. Caltex will increase kerosene prices by 50 centavos per liter. The companies will be implementing the new rates by 6 a.m. on Tuesday.
Welcome back to Y News. We pick up to where Angelo Castro III left off. I'm Alex Baltazar, and here are the headlines. The Department of Agriculture probes suspected African swine fever cases in the country. And find out why chats in Facebook groups are going away starting August 22. Good evening. The Department of Agriculture will have samples of Philippine hogs killed by a still unconfirmed disease tested in another country. Nina Armilio explains why.
The Department of Agriculture is very careful with releasing statements regarding what disease killed a number of hogs in the Philippines. Agriculture Secretary William Dar says the reports of incidents of pig deaths reached him last Friday, but he refuses to name the areas where the reports emanated. He assures, however, the government is on top of the situation.
Kung ano po yung suspected na may disease ay kinakal out, inaalis, binabari at dinidisinfect yung lugar.
The official wants to wait for the results of the confirmatory test of the disease. The test may take 2 weeks to 3 months. Bureau of Animal Industry Director Ronnie Domingo says they want to avoid mistakes that other countries have committed.
September 2018 ay nagkamatay ng baboy sa Japan. At ito ay naging national issue, naging international issue. Naku, yung Japan tinamaan ng ASF, ano? At ginawa po nila yung kanilang laboratory procedures at they diagnosed it was hog cholera. Pero 75,000 na yung kanilang nakal na baboy.
But the Taiwanese authority is already implementing measures in airports where the baggage of passengers from the Philippines are inspected. They quote a reliable source that the African swine fever virus killed hogs in Taiwan. The Philippines has started issuing an import ban of pork products from ASF-affected countries, which are now 19. Nina Armilio, UNTV, News and Rescue.
Children received oral polio vaccines in Manila City today. Some of them liked it, while others did not like the taste of it. Mai Bermudez, tell us why.
Our goal is to address 196,000 children in the city of Manila to be free of possibility of having polio.
The Department of Health launched today their synchronized polio immunization program at a covered court in Manila City. Infants and children up to 5 years old were simultaneously administered with polio vaccines orally. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III says, unless we act quickly to put our surveillance on alert to figure out signs of polio virus transmission in the country through vaccine and sanitation, our polio-free status may be put at risk. While Undersecretary Eric Domingo said that Manila City is one of the cities in the Philippines with potential polio cases.
Kaya talagang inuuna natin siya kasi nga yung situation dito talagang napakaraming tao, tapos ang sewerage system natin maraming barado, pagkatapos meron tayong medyo mababa ang ating coverage ng pagbabakuna sa polio.
Sunshine, who has a child at preschool, says she did not lose her trust in the government's vaccination program.
Ay, hindi naman po. Kompleto naman po kami simula. Ano pa siya baby pa siya. Wala pagkaano niya, pagkalabas. Meron naman po.
While some children, as young as they are, did not like the taste of the oral vaccine.
Mother, ba't napaiyak? Hindi niya gusto yung lasa.
Hindi niya gusto yung lasa?
Opo.
Ano ba lasa, baby? Ayaw mo. Ano yung lasa?
Mapait.
Sa bakuna?
Opo, sanay naman po siya. Pero sa patak ngayon niya lang nalasahan kasi gano'n. Puro inject siya.
Polio is an infectious disease that affects the brain and spinal cord of an individual, which can cause paralysis or even death. It was in 2000 when the last case of polio was recorded in the country. May Bermudez, UNTV, News and Rescue, Manila.
Malacanang challenges an online news organization to provide evidence on its allegations against President Rodrigo Duterte allegedly receiving multi-million pesos worth of gifts. Based on an article published by Vera Files, the chief executive received around 193 million plus pesos worth of deposits through his joint account with Davao City Mayor Sara Carpio when he celebrated his 69th birthday. Vera Files said it obtained a copy of the bank records from the Senate record submitted by former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV. With regard to the policy of receiving gifts, President Duterte does not personally receive presents, but instead he turns them over to the government.
Your comment?
Is that true? Oh, does he have any evidence to that effect? Ang dami nang nagsabi na si Presidente, ang dami. Hindi ba ilang daang milyon meron siya pero hindi naman totoo.
So the palace is denying that the president have these.
Sabi nga, one who alleges must prove. If you cannot prove, huwag ka na lang magsalita kasi naninira ka lang.
Malacanang says President Rodrigo Duterte will not meddle in the squabble between Duterte Youth Party list nominee Ronald Cardema and Commission on Elections Commissioner Rowena Guanzon. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo also encourages Cardema to just file the appropriate charges against the COMELEC official whom he accuses of corruption. Cardema accuses Guanzon of demanding political favors in exchange for accreditation of their party list.
The case between Mr. Cardema and Commissioner Guanzon, I think is between the two of them. Moreover, the president respects the independence of any constitutional body. So the president will never, has not, and will not interfere on any function of the commission as well as other constitutional bodies.
Foreign Affairs Secretary Teodoro Locsin today expressed his objection to the reimposition of the death penalty in the Philippines. The secretary said it will be difficult for the Philippine government to appeal in other countries when Filipinos are facing the same punishment. The Foreign Affairs Department, however, assures they are doing all the best to provide Filipinos legal assistance when they are facing charges overseas.
If we restore it, how we can appeal if we feel that there is a possibility of a miscarriage of justice in a foreign country, how we can appeal for mercy.
Facebook will soon remove their group chat feature. More than 2 billion users will be affected by the social networking firm's move. Here's why from Mon Hokson.
Since August 16, starting a new chat on a Facebook group has been disabled. And come Thursday, August 22, Facebook's chat feature will be disabled, though all Facebook group chats will remain readable. Some Facebook users encounter irritating chats with strange offers and advertisements. And that is what the social networking company wants to solve with the new measure. It is unclear why Facebook will soon remove their group chat feature, but there are other details in their statement. Facebook says they are finding alternatives to the feature but cannot give any details on the plan yet. Facebook clarifies this move will not impact group chats with your friends on Messenger, but only Facebook group chats. On August 22, it will appear as though all members are leaving the group. This isn't because they are opting to leave, but rather part of archiving the messages. Some netizens are worried over Facebook's action, but an alternative is to encourage discussions as comment posts or starting a group chat with trusted Facebook connections. This will be problematic for thousands of Facebook groups, but privacy concerns appears to be more important to Facebook, which we all are after anyway. Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue.
Scientists from China and Austria recently proposed for the first time a scheme for teleportation of arbitrarily high-dimensional photonic quantum states and demonstrated an example of teleporting a Kutrit, making a major breakthrough in quantum teleportation. Kat Dumaraos explains why.
Quantum teleportation is a new way of communication. It can use quantum entanglement to achieve a disembodied transmission of unknown quantum states between distant quantum systems. Hence, it has become the core functional unit of long-distance quantum communication and distributed quantum computing. Before the breakthrough made by the Chinese and Austrian scientists, all teleportation experiments to date were limited to a two-dimensional subspace of quantized multiple levels of the quantum systems. Their theory and experiment have laid a solid scientific foundation for the development of a quantum network with high efficiency.
Quantum teleportation is like space travel in science fictions, or what the Monkey King can do in the classic Chinese novel of Journey to the West. It is very similar to transmitting something instantly from one place to another.
To truly realize the complete state transmission of complex quantum physics system and apply it to expandable quantum information technology, scientists need to achieve several qualifications in quantum teleportation, such as multiple terminals, multi-degree freedom, high dimensions, and long distance. Pan's research team achieved quantum Kat Dumaraos, UNTV News and Rescue.
Malacanang ensures President Rodrigo Duterte is in good health and he was able to ride his motorcycle. This is the statement of the palace after the president's more than a week of no public appearance. Presidential spokesperson and Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Secretary Salvador Panelo says the chief executive is busy with signing documents and attending private meetings and courtesy calls. Malacanang also revealed the chief executive was able to ride his motorcycle in their subdivision.
Wala naman tayong ipapag-alala, sir.
Wala. In fact, he shared to me yesterday, sabi niya, alam mo ba na I went out sa motorsiklo? Nagmotorsiklo daw siya. Sa subdivision niya. Hindi ko na alam kung kahapon yun o the day before. It only shows na kung nakakamotor siya in good health. Yun lang ang ibig sabihin nun.
And for the news abroad, the Danish Prime Minister called Donald Trump's interest in buying Greenland absurd the same day the president confirmed he had discussed the possibility of the U.S. purchasing the country. Nina Armilio tells us why.
U.S. President Donald Trump has confirmed he is considering an attempt to buy Greenland for strategic reasons, though he said the idea is not number one on the burner. Trump's interest, reported earlier this week, was greeted internationally with widespread hilarity, but with indignation in Greenland and Denmark. The government of the semi-autonomous Danish territory insisted it was not for sale. The Danish Prime Minister called any discussion of a sale absurd. Nonetheless, on Sunday, White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow first confirmed the story in an interview before Trump spoke to reporters as he left New Jersey to return from vacation to Washington, saying the concept came up and he was looking at it. The man who runs a notoriously leaky White House also questioned how the idea found its way to the press. Trump sought to tie the idea of a U.S. purchase of the world's largest island, not including the continent of Australia, to his own area of professional expertise, saying it would be essentially a large real estate deal.
Well, Greenland, I don't know, it got released somehow. It's just something we talked about. Denmark essentially owns it. We're very good allies with Denmark. We protect Denmark like we protect large portions of the world. So the concept came up, and I said certainly strategically it's interesting, and we'd be interested, but we'll talk to them a little bit. It's not number one on the burner, I can tell you that.
Denmark is a member of NATO, a mutually defense organization frequently criticized by the U.S. president. Trump believes the member nations do not pay enough for the privilege of membership alongside the powerful U.S. military. Such American forces have operated for decades from Thule Air Base in Greenland, the northernmost U.S. base, which is part of a global network of radars and sensors for missile warnings and space surveillance.
Well, a lot of things could be done. I mean, essentially, it's a large real estate deal.
He then claimed, without offering evidence, that ownership of Greenland was hurting Denmark very badly because they are losing almost $700 million a year carrying it. So they carry it at a large cost, and strategically for the United States, it would be very nice, and we're a big ally of Denmark. We protect Denmark and we help Denmark, and we will. Trump is scheduled to visit Denmark in September as part of a trip to Europe. Nina Armilio, UNTV, News and Rescue.
A Malaysian court on Monday postponed for a week the biggest of 5 trials linked to a multi-billion-dollar scam at state fund 1MDB and allegedly involving former Prime Minister Najib Razak. The hearing will now begin next Monday to allow time for the completion of a previous trial that revolves around former 1MDB unit SRC International. A Kuala Lumpur High Court judge said Najib's lawyer Muhammad Shafi Abdullah told reporters that they will start reading the charge files after the completion of the current hearing.
Most of these witness statements we have not even started reading. As you can appreciate, we are preparing the SRC trial. Today, perhaps in the evening, we begin reading the 1MDB statement.
Najib, who lost the general election last year, has been hit with 42 criminal charges of graft and money laundering at Malaysia Development Berhad and other state entities. He has pleaded not guilty and says the charges are politically motivated. The sole survivor of a disastrous attempt by 15 migrants to reach Europe by sea from Libya has told of how ships passed them by and ignored their pleas to be rescued. Jovic Bermas tells us why.
On August 12th, a Maltese military helicopter spotted Mohammed Adam Oga, an Ethiopian man slumped over the body of another man, the last of the group to die in a journey that Mohammed said lasted 11 days. According to Mohammed's account, the other 13 migrants, including a pregnant woman, died during the journey as their food, water, and fuel ran out. Their decomposing bodies were put overboard under a baking Mediterranean sun, with the pregnant woman dying toward the end of their ordeal, on the 10th day according to his account.
We ran out of fuel, and we ran out of the battery on the GPS device.
Meanwhile, migrants on board a charity rescue ship stranded off the coast of Italy attempted to swim ashore on Sunday after the boat had spent more than 2 weeks waiting for a port to dock. The migrants, most of whom are African, were picked up by the Open Arms boat off the coast of Libya, had been waiting to disembark on the southern Italian island of Lampedusa. Video footage filmed from Open Arms showed migrants swimming towards the shoreline of Italy before they were returned to the ship. Open Arms director and founder Oscar Camp said there were constant fights on board and the tension was unsustainable. The Spanish government on Sunday offered Algeciras as a port to disembark migrants from the ship, after Italy's far-right Interior Minister Matteo Salvini refused them entry. However, Open Arms said they were unable to dock in Spain due to an emergency situation on board. Jovic Bermas, UNTV News and Rescue, Europe.
Manila City Mayor made rounds in the city last night. Traffic law violators were apprehended, and the police station commander was relieved from his post. Harleen Delgado details why.
The Manila Police District confirms the station commander of Malate Police Station 9 has been relieved from his post. This comes barely a day after Manila Mayor Isko Moreno recommended the commander's relief after finding no official on duty at the police station during his surprise inspection Sunday night. According to MPD District Director Brigadier General Vicente Dano Jr., the relief of former Commander Lieutenant Colonel Roberto Ganipac stemmed not only from the mayor's recommendation but also for his failing health condition. Dano says he busted Ganipac 3 weeks ago when the latter confessed about his health. That's why the Manila Police Chief believes that the mayor's sacking of the station commander is just coincidental. However, Dano stresses they do not tolerate policemen who do not fulfill their duties.
Sana this will serve as a warning sa lahat ng ating station commanders at pinag-isip na bawal ang tamad na may tiga.
The new station commander of the Malate Police Station 9 is Police Lieutenant Colonel Richard Ang, the former chief of the Quezon City Police District Anti-Kidnapping Unit. The local chief executive warns all police station chiefs to ensure that their respective areas of responsibility are free from any problems.
And we will not hesitate to relieve any officers, even the entire precinct.
Meanwhile, 6 of the most wanted suspects in different parts of Manila have been nabbed this month. The suspects are accused of crimes such as homicide, robbery, and rape. They went into hiding ranging from 6 months to 9 years. The Manila City Mayor says he is not trying to humiliate the suspects, but is just giving them a lesson and then deliver them to justice. Harleen Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
Briton Neil Campbell set a new Guinness Men's World Cycling Speed record of 174.339 miles per hour on Saturday in Elphington Airfield, North Yorkshire, England, UK. Using a 15,000-pound custom-built bike fitted with a parachute and a Porsche Cayenne pace car, Campbell surpassed Fred Rumpelberg's record of 167 miles per hour, plus set at the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah, USA in 1995. Bonneville is where Campbell next has his sights set as he and his team aim to ride at a speed of 220 miles per hour plus next year. For Moira Dela Torres, her braver concert experience in Davao City is like no other. Meanwhile, some famous personalities congratulate the singer-songwriter for a successful show. Here's Janice Ediente to tell us why.
Titibo-tibo singer-composer Moira Dela Torres thrilled her thousands of fans in Davao City on Friday with a spectacular Braver Moira concert. The now bolder OPM star also performed collaborative songs with R&B king JR and I Belong to the Zoo vocalist RJ Guerrero.
Sana sinabi mo para di na umasang may tayo pa sa uli. Sana sinabi mo hahayaan naman kitang umalis.
Moira and her real-life sweetheart Jason excited the audience when the two performed their wedding song Ikaw at Ako. famous personalities also joined the music-filled night.
Super nice and super nakaka-inspire. Tapos, yun, lapit kami nakaiyak kasi ang ganda yun ng boses niya.
Congratulations sa Wish 107.5 sa very successful na concert ni Moira.
Spotify's most streamed Filipina act expressed her thanks to everyone who watched and enjoyed her performances that lovely evening.
It was so great. Sobrang inalagaan po kami ng Wish. I don't think we've ever experienced anything this organized and this smooth. Everyone was so cheerful. Everyone was so happy and patient and just super gracious and giving. Sobrang selfless talaga. So maraming salamat po sa lahat ng tumulong from the Wish family and for making this event possible.
Janice Hente, UNTV, News and Rescue, Davao City.
The long wait is over as Kuya Daniel Razon gives information on the latest cars and car accessories, test drives, and tips for motorists on Manny Bella's YouTube channel. Here's Monokson to tell us why.
How do I get a driver's license? Which car am I going to buy? How do I change a flat tire? These are some questions of many motorists to which sometimes answers are hard to find. But now, with just a few clicks of the fingers on your mobile phone or your computer at home or in the office, what you used to ask and doubt will all be crystal clear. How? Just watch Kuya Daniel Razon's motoring show, Manny Bella.
Makakakuha kayo ng iba-ibang mga informations regarding sa sasakyan, tamang pagmamaneho, at makakasama din natin iba-ibang mga experts ng iba-ibang mga larangan ng pagmamaneho, motoring, and yung mga kaalaman ninyo na gusto nyong matutunan at skills na dapat malaman sa driving o yung mga iba't ibang mga klase na sasakyan.
All you have to do is log on to Manny Bella's YouTube channel, sit back, relax, and learn. Watch out for the pilot airing of Manny Bella on TV2. If you're into travel, Manny Bella is perfect for you. There's Road Trip to give you a travel guide to food stops, hotels, and resorts that Kuya Daniel will visit. Want to know the latest car accessories and tools? What about the updates in the motoring world? And test drives of the latest car releases. Manny Bella has got you covered. Tune in to Manny Bella's YouTube channel right after Y News 9 p.m. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue.
And those are the reasons behind the news this August 19, 2019. On behalf of Angelo Castro III, I'm Alex Baltazar, and before we close, we will recap with today's significant sound bites. Because we need to know, we will always ask why. Good evening.
Fire off another, we'll never run out of those. And in doing so, please make it explicit, the message, and to drop diplomatic language.
He's not worried because we have the intelligence capability of knowing what they are doing. Yeah, we have that capability nga sabi ng Presidente.
Kung ano po yung suspected na may disease ay kinakal out, inaalis, binabari, at dinidisinfect yung lugar.
And we will not hesitate to relieve any officers, even the entire precinct.
Any kind of extractive industry which will damage our water resources, there's no negotiation there. What do you want me to do? I don't negotiate. If it's wrong, it's wrong. This is wrong. You're putting the lives of the people there at risk, and it is against the Philippine Constitution. It's wrong, okay?